How's it going, guys? I'm Nicholas Lynn, and today I'm going to tell you about a trap that I fell into. The trap that I fell into was becoming a hype beast. It all happened around junior year of high school when I was first introduced to Supreme and Palace and like the designer level Nike and a couple other brands that I really liked. Now, I want to begin by saying that I absolutely love fashion, okay? I started a clothing brand in high school. I love fashion a lot. I spent a lot of money on fashion. I support the culture. I'm wearing Supreme right now for the honor of the video, but I want to tell you guys about why this was a trap for me. Now, the first reason it was a trap for me is because of the financial loss that I was experiencing. I could not afford how much money I was spending on clothes. I was spending every single paycheck after paycheck on clothes and shoes for no reason. All of my money was going towards this consumerism and these consumer goods, and I wasn't putting any money towards my savings or my future, right? I was just making a complete financial mistake. Now, let's say I bought like one t-shirt every couple paychecks. That'd have been completely fine, but it's this mindset that I got into, and the streetwear culture is really big on this. If you have to have the new stuff and all the latest drops and the latest collaborations, and it all kind of warped my mind, and I thought that I needed all this stuff, and I was experiencing so much financial loss from it. And it's not like I was taking out of my savings or anything like that, but I was just spending all of my money on all of these goods. I thought that I was investing, right? So we hear that streetwear, I mean, you hear it all the time that these box logos and that these Supreme Oreos and stuff, they're selling for ridiculous amounts of money, and you think that you're making money on every purchase, but that's not the case. I have a lot of Supreme t-shirts that are worth, like if I tried to sell them right now, I'd pay probably less after fees than what I paid retail price for. So I wasn't really investing like I thought I was, and the real reason I was buying it was because of this like social status symbol that it gives you. It's like Jeep people, right? When you have a Jeep and you see another Jeep, they do that weird Jeep wave like cult thing. It's kind of the same way in the streetwear culture. You see someone who's wearing other streetwear items and you go up and you talk about fashion, and it's this really cool experience, and I really loved that, right? I loved the culture so much, but what I didn't realize is how it was financially eating away my future. What I really want to break down was why I was purchasing all these goods. And I kind of told you it was about culture and things like that. But when it really breaks down, I was buying these goods because I thought it was making me someone that others would see, right? How I wanted others to see me in better terms. I was buying these goods, and when people would look at me, I was getting all these compliments and all these things that I thought made me more of a person, when really it doesn't at all. All it was doing was making me look like a financial idiot, losing all of my money for no reason, just for a few compliments. It wasn't worth it at all, and if I could go back a year or two and tell myself to not spend as much money as I did, I would. Now, I absolutely love fashion, I love luxury goods, and I love these brands that I've been talking about. But what they were doing to my financial situation was a complete problem, and it was a mistake that I was making over and over. I would sit there every Thursday at 10 in the morning and just buy $150 to $300 worth of like Supreme goods, and I didn't have the income to support that. Now, let's say I did have the income to support that, then there's nothing wrong with that, right? And I love fashion. If I had a lot of money, I'd probably have a lot of nice clothes because I love that. That's just something I personally enjoy. But for how much money I was making, it was creating a huge problem. And I remember my dad is actually the one who made me realize this, because I kept getting new shoes after new shoes, and I'd receive these boxes of shoes. And one day he asked me, he's like, "Man, you got a lot of new shoes lately. How much have you spent?" And I like sat there for a second. I was like, "Oh, I have spent a lot on shoes." And I tried to justify it by looking at the resale value, but I was wearing all these shoes, so it wasn't making sense. And all of this money that I now look at, now that I've really started planning for my future and investing and saving, I'm like, man, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on clothes that are gonna return nothing to me. I thought that I was buying an asset. I thought I was buying something that I could later sell back for more than what it was worth, you know? And that's just not the case. That's just not the case. And I was lying to myself. And I'm really glad that I realized this, and I've been able to stop spending so much money. Now, like I said earlier, still love fashion. Like, I absolutely love shoes, and I will continue to buy nice shoes, but I will like justify that purchase by saving and not just spending all of my money. Maybe I spend like $300 once a year rather than once a month on new shoes. And that's what I really wanted to talk about. It was this trap of this huge financial trap where I was living paycheck to paycheck just because I was really into fashion. Once again, there's nothing wrong with spending money on fashion, but when you're spending all your money on fashion, it's a problem. thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. I know this video was kind of funny, and it's something that very personal to me, and I'm sure some of you have gone through it as well, but let me know what you think. Are you a fan of like Supreme, or how do you feel about this like hype beast culture and this streetwear culture? Thank you guys again. I hope you have a great week.